Breaking news today.
Please subscribe and then check notification box to get all breaking news alerts.
Residents are being overrun by Muslims, and now residents are terrified to leave their homes after what just happened. If you have not noticed lately, Europe has been going to hell in a handbasket thanks to liberal policies. These policies implemented by the enlightened left have done more harm than good, and there seems to be no end in sight. One of those systems that seem to be dragging Europe down into the gutter is the constant influx of Muslim refugees entering the area. The left pulls at the public's heartstrings, saying that these refugees are women and children who are escaping war-torn regions. However, the images and videos that have been uploaded online depict a different story. More often than not, these refugees are adult males who have come to the Western world to push their Islamic caliphate. Now, neighborhoods are being taken over by these Muslim migrants, and it has become so bad that residents are afraid to leave their own homes, and if we aren't careful, it could happen to America too. If there were ever a cautionary tale of why you do not allow Muslims to flood into your country, it would be Europe. It seems like every day we hear about another terrorist attack, violent scuffle, or crime wave committed by Muslim migrants. However, instead of countries closing their borders to stop the massive influx of refugees entering, government officials continue to wave them in despite the negative consequences. One country that has been virtually taken over by Muslim migrants is Sweden, with dozens of no-go areas popping up on a regular basis. These areas are so dangerous that even law enforcement refuses to enter without sufficient backup, and still the government has not lifted a finger to deport these violent groups. Within the last year, neighborhoods in Sweden have been turned into war zones, with refugees bombarding police with bricks and Molotov cocktails. Instead of it getting any better, it is only taking a turn for the worse, where entire neighborhoods have been overrun, and citizens cower in fear indoors, terrified to leave their homes. Here is more from Briet Bart. Almost half the residents in many troubled no-go zones in Sweden say they are too afraid to leave their homes in the evening and at night due to rampant violence and criminality. According to a survey conducted by the Swedish National Council for Crime Prevention, BRA, residents of troubled suburbs in heavily migrant-populated cities like Malmö are increasingly fearful of being robbed or injured by criminals. Nearly half, 48%, of respondents in the survey who live in Malmö suburbs feel that the area is too dangerous to go out at night, SVT reports. The number of fearful residents is high in other areas of the city, the population of which, according to reports, is growing solely due to mass migration. In northern Malmö, 36% said they were afraid to go out in the evenings, and in the nearby city of Lund, 22% said they felt unsafe at night. The survey also examined residents' opinions on crime in Swedish society in general. In some areas like the city of Stad, 58% of those surveyed complained that they had deep anxiety over the levels of criminality in their area. Last month, the moderate party said the military should be deployed to aid police in no-go zones because police face danger when answering calls in the areas. In some cases, youths have purposely called emergency services to a certain area to attack them. In one case in Malmö, youths set 2 cars on fire during the evening, and when firefighters arrived they attacked them with rocks and bottles as they attempted to put out the fire. Due to the attack, the firemen were forced to leave the area, which led to a building being burned to the ground. Paramedics and ambulance workers have also been attacked in no-go zones, leading to the Swedish Ambulance Drivers Union demanding military-style protective gear for emergency workers operating in the areas. Sweden's other major cities like Stockholm and Gothenburg showed similar survey results, and many in Sweden have become more concerned over the criminality in no-go suburbs despite years of reports of riots and violence. No one should feel like a prisoner in their own home or community, but that has happened to the Swedish people thanks to the liberal policies enacted over the last several years. Instead of Sweden's government protecting their own people by stopping the influx of refugees into the country, they continue to allow them to pour in, and now they are at a breaking point. This is why we the American people need to remain vigilant and make sure that with the 2018 elections quickly approaching we do what we can to ensure that conservatives are elected to office. Or, What we are seeing happen across Europe and in Sweden will begin to happen here, and once it begins it will be difficult to fix it. Hopefully, for the sake of the innocent people in Sweden and Europe, their governments will wise up before it is too late. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.